Hello and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a really good day so far. So today I thought we'd touch on the topic of how to stay organized and productive as a university student, especially right now in this time of COVID and online learning. Let me tell you just a little story of why staying organized and productive is important. So this morning I thought everything was just going well, I thought the day was flowing, and then I checked my planner and I realized that I had booked a workshop for 11 at 11:20. That's when I found out. And I also thought my class was at 2, but then it turned out it was at 1. So I could have missed two pretty important things if not for planning ahead and staying organized. So that being said, here are a few ways that I stay productive and organized as a university student. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get right into the video. So the number one thing is to always plan ahead and to work ahead. So usually on Sunday evenings, I'll take 30 minutes out of my day just to look at everything I have for the upcoming week. So that's all the readings, all the lectures, all the other events that I want to go to virtually, and I'll plan them all into separate days in the week. And I do this all using my digital planner that's mental health focused, and I'll link that down below if you want to check it out. On the days where I'm a little more free, I like to take those days to get started on semester end projects, do any extra credit assignments, and also to review concepts where I need a little extra review. So this is setting yourself up for success, and you do not need to review as hard when midterms and finals come around. And speaking of midterms and finals, I like to start preparing 2 weeks in advance for those. I'm not someone who likes cram studying, so I like to split up the topics into little sizable chunks for each day leading up to the midterm. The second way is to find your most productive hours to work, and this one is definitely different for everyone. For me, I work best in the mornings, so I try to get up early-ish at like around 8, and I start working by 9, and that's just when I can comprehend material the best and I guess like critically think, and my brain's just awake at that time. That being said, if nighttime works best for you, definitely go with that. Especially when it comes to midterms and final season, definitely find someone who has the same productivity hours as you, and you two can just struggle through this time together. My friend Phoebe and I, during midterms season and final season, we woke up at 6 every single morning because we were both early risers, and we would just FaceTime and just study together in silence, and it was so nice to just have someone to study with and also to have everything done by noon. The third thing is to take into account all the mental energy that's being used and also to balance it out. Oftentimes, when we think of productivity, we think of how many hours we put into work, but we also need to think about the mental energy, because every day we have a mental battery, and the more work we do, the more it's drained. Some ways that I like to recharge this mental battery is by going for midday walks when my brain's just a little foggy with all the readings and I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. This one just really puts me into a fresh perspective, and it's been super nice because it's been really sunny lately. The second thing is to watch some TV episodes with my friend just at the end of the night as a mental break and a mental recharge. The best tip I have for this is just honestly to plan in something every day that you can look forward to, so that when you're going through the work, you feel motivated to keep pushing and you know that there's something better at the end of the day. The fourth tip is to split things up. I used to think that I had to get things done in one sitting, or else I failed. But looking at that now, that's a really toxic mindset, and it's totally okay to split things up. Using an example from last week, our English prof told us that class was cancelled for that day, but we had to read the entire novel, which is around like 400 pages, for the following week. And when I heard that, I honestly panicked. I was really overwhelmed thinking, how am I going to finish this whole novel by next week on top of all the other work from all the other classes? But after doing some quick calculations, I figured that reading around 40 to 45 pages a day was so much more relieving than just looking at the novel as a whole. So again, it's totally okay to split up your work and there's nothing wrong with it. You have to just take it at your own pace. The fifth tip is to just eliminate any unnecessary things from your schedule. So a big one for me was social media notifications. I used to just respond to every text right away, but I noticed that that was really distracting me from my work, and that every time I responded, it took me a while to shift my attention back to my work. So now I like to do something called batch replying to my texts. So I reply to all my texts once in the morning, and then I'll leave my phone for a few hours and then check it again at lunch, and then just leave it as I do my work, and then I'll go on it fully in the evening, and that has really helped. Another thing is to say no to events or hangouts that you're kind of so-so about, and just save your best yeses for the things that you really want to attend. Sometimes hangouts and such can just take so much of our time without us meaning to, so when you save your best yeses, it's just saving both your time and energy for the things that you truly want to do. Now let's move into some more organizational tips for university. So the first thing for organization is that when I get my syllabus for my classes, I like to note down the midterms and finals dates right away, just so I can get a weekly and monthly overview so I can plan ahead and work ahead. I also just wanted to show you how I organize my notes for class. So right now I use OneNote because I love how they have just separate notebooks for each class, so it's really easy to split up that way. And I have a quick notes section for each class with the prof, the office hours, the availability for the office hours, and how to best reach the prof, and also any additional notes, and how the grade for that course is split up. Then for each course, I just take down the important notes, and I like to do a lot of highlighting and bolding because it really helps me distinguish what's important and what's just there as backup info. But I understand that it could get overwhelming, so totally do what works for you. And if there are any charts or pictures in the lecture that really help, I like to screenshot these and also insert these into my notes. At the end of my notes, I always do a summary or key takeaways section. I find that this is so good for if you're just reviewing a chapter, and this is also an effective way to prep for midterms and finals. This is a way to make sure that you know your stuff. And for some courses, such as English, the biggest takeaway that I had in AP English was to always go above and beyond what's required. And this will help you so much more when the essays come around. So the book we're reading right now is set during the Sri Lanka Civil War. And so I did some background research on that and made a little timeline of the war. And I also did some research notes into like symbolisms and metaphors and allegories, and this honestly helps so much, so I definitely recommend keeping some of that. At the end of each night, I also just like to do a 10-minute clean just to make sure that my space is clean and ready to go for the next day. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video gave you some insight into how I organize in university and also some tips on how to be productive. I'd love to hear how your semester is going as well. If you want to message me anytime, I'm completely open to that, or feel free to leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed this, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you very soon. Bye!